Hi, welcome to Rajal. In today's video, I am going to discuss about how to create fields for healthcare project. As we all know, whenever we are working on healthcare projects, especially either from the development perspective or maybe people who are working as a business analyst, all that, it is always essentially important for us to have an idea over how to create projects and all everything. So, and how to add fields to the existing project, right? So all these things are essentially required and we need to learn. So in this video, I'm going to explain you about how to add fields and all everything for the existing project. So with the kind of project what I have taken, I already created a project which is called claim processing, right? So claim processing is what a project which I have taken here. Now for this project, I want to add some fields and all everything, right? So for that you need to go for details here, right? So here you can see because for example for this project, assume that because claim processing we are doing for the patients whoever has got treated from the provider, because normally in healthcare we have two: one is provider, second is payer. Provider nothing but the healthcare organizations, payer nothing but people who are insurance companies like CMS or private insurance organizations. Those are payers who will accept the claims and do the claim payments, etc. So what is that I'm doing to do? I want to update the fields first. First of all, creating of the fields and all everything are required. So in reference to the patient itself is concerned. After that, practitioner, organization, remaining things will come into picture. Because project I have already created, as I told you, the project name is called claims processing. In this, I am going to patient here, right? So here you can see there is an option called fields. Here we need to add the, first of all, these are the different options which will be available to us. So wherein we need to add one by one. So here I am just adding first of all one, right? One is ID number, which is that what is that I am going to add is an ID number here. Next, I am going to add the address even, right? So next address city, I am adding address country, postal code, state, contact, email, next general practitioner, marital status, phone, right? So this is what it was, right? So these are all the details as they have just taken it. At the same time, we need to these are the details which I have taken, right? ID number, last updated name, update, gender, right? So even name can be, right? So at the same time, gender it can be, right? So all these things and all, we just clicking on OK. So whatever the details we have mentioned and whatever the details are we going to update in reference to the application, whatever we are going to create. So those details we have to update it here, right? So this is where generally we need to mention about the ID number, right? So identifiers, whatever the ID numbers we have taken, right? So whatever the fields we have taken, all these informations has to be updated. This is where generally we need to update all the details here. You can see these are all something which we have selected, right? So what is that we have selected was these details, right? So these are all the select here you can see, right? So here you can see ID number, last updated, name, birth date, gender, ID number. Of course, ID number was created uh, hmm, twice, right? Yeah. Okay, I can do it later. Okay, right, ID number. Next address, followed by address city, country code, address code, postal code, address street, contact number, email, general practitioner, marital status like married or unmarried or etc., etc., and at the same time phone number, all that, right? So this is how generally the fields has to be created first. We need to create the fields. At the same time, if you want to create any kind of filters and all everything, that filters even created, right? So filters has to be created here, because creation of filters in, which is easy for us to search the data, right? So for that, right? So For example, ID equals to 2, for example, right? So that's what ID equal to 6, for example, right? So this is what I have taken, right? So I'm just clicking on OK, right? So this is what generally the one of the filter I have created. At the same time, here we can see export as CSV file if you want to create, because there is a limited where we can update, export and all everything. 1,000 records can be updated, right? So that is one advantage we have. Next, we need to see the format here, right? So because if you want to update the details and all, here we have to update whatever the details do we have and all everything. Those details we have to update after the fields, after the filters creations, etc. All that. After that, if there is any bulk information and all everything, so if there is any apps and all everything, so those are the apps and all everything is what we have to update. So this is how generally the very first thing whenever we are working on the project, especially whichever the healthcare project we are working on. So adding the fields of the details of the patient I'm talking about. After that, again for the practitioner, again we have to create a different things. That is, of course, that's a different thing altogether. So as far as the patient itself is concerned, this is how and what generally we do that. After that, whenever we were going for practitioner and all, here we can see, right? For example, ID number we can be taken. Last updated ID was there. I'm just removing it. Yeah, sorry. So next profile, we need to add the profile. Next address, city, country, postal code, state. Right. So next email, gender, here, phone, qualification, right? So these are all, yeah. So these are all, right? So you can see, right? So this is all for the practitioner part. This is how generally the fields and all everything is what we have to create when you are working for any kind of healthcare projects. This is all about the video. If you have any questions, if you have any queries in regard to that, please reach out to the contact details, which will be posted in below to this video. Thank you.